Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
My video.
Mute your background. Well, I can see.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We are going to start very quickly tonight so we don't keep our wonderful guest speaker too long.
Well, earbuds in.
Double check. Recording, I think so. Yeah. There we go.
Okay. Ready to get started, Janice?
I'm ready.
Okay. Welcome to those of you guys that are brand new to our team. We are the Dream Team. So if this is your first meeting, welcome. I am Cassie Haymaker. Just making sure I didn't mute myself. And then Janice, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Janice Hayes. If we don't know you already, hi and welcome. Welcome to the team meeting. Very excited tonight for this one. All right.
Well, we're going to jump right into our meeting. I am so pleased to have our guest speaker tonight. We are so fortunate.
You went mute.
Thanks, Casey.
Yeah.
I want to introduce our guest speaker. We are so thankful to have her for tonight, and she is wonderful to give us some of her time. So thank you so much. And her name is Pille, and she is a top earner with her network marketing company that she's a part of. And she's also an author. And we are so fortunate to have her. And those of you guys that are joining us tonight, we are going to be giving away her book at the end of the night, too, for those of you guys that are with us in the meeting. So welcome, Pille.
Oh my goodness, what an honor. Hello, hello, everybody. Look at all these gorgeous ladies. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in a beauty pageant or something. Amazing. This is the coolest thing ever. Thank you, Cassie, so much for the invite. And it's been so nice meeting you briefly, Janice, as well. I just feel absolutely honored to be here and have the next, I guess, about 15-20 minutes with you ladies, unless I start babbling and then it may go a little bit longer. So I'm kind of known to do that. So anyway, as Cassie said, my name is Pille and I actually live on Vancouver Island, BC, Canada. And I've been in network marketing for about 5.5 years now. I'll just tell you briefly my story, just so you have a little bit of a background of what's going on, and some of you may be actually able to relate as well. Before network marketing, I was a licensed optician, contact lens fitter. I used to manage eye clinics for 15 years in various parts of Western Canada. And, you know, although I absolutely loved my job, I loved being able to help people see better. But what I didn't like was the absolute glass ceiling on my earnings. Even after 15 years, they only gave me 2 weeks of vacation time, which is crazy. I'm from Europe. Like, I want to go back home and it takes me like a week alone to get over jet lag. So 2 weeks of vacation time was just like not good enough for me at one point anymore. And on top of it all, I have 2 kids and I have a husband who works away from home. He's a Marine pilot. So when he's gone 30 days at a time, which means pretty much like a single mom life for me. So imagine now working full time, having to run after 2 kids, being in a managerial role in an eye clinic where, you know, the calls kept coming in day and night. Whenever there was something that blew up, I was the one that had to deal with it. So it just started wearing old. I don't know if any of you can relate at your jobs.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, like how long do I have to do this for? So network marketing was literally thrown my way by a total stranger on Facebook. You know, I got one of those, hey girl messages. You know, have you gotten one of those? So I got one of those hey girl messages and I was like, no, like I'm not one of those people. Like I'm educated and my nose was up in the air and I thought I was like better than her. And she kept coming back and doing the follow-ups. And finally I was like, fine, I'll do it. Like, I'll show you it doesn't work. That was pretty much my attitude. And inside, kind of secretly, I was like, well, if I could make $200 to $500 a month, that would be really nice. That would mean a new pair of shoes every month, maybe a purse. Like, that's how my brain was working. It was not going anywhere, bigger potential wise. So I started working the business kind of on the side of my regular job and running after kids while my husband was gone. And I just thought, I'm just going to follow the system. I'm just going to do whatever they tell me to do, and I'll prove them that it doesn't work. And so 5 months into it, I actually was able to match my corporate eye care industry management salary, and I actually ended up quitting my job. Everybody thought I was crazy. Like, my mom didn't talk to me for like 2 years because she thought I had absolutely lost my marbles. But it's been an amazing ride ever since. In my second year, I hit 6 figures, and now technically my 4th year with a company, I hit top 25 income earners. So it's been an amazing, amazing ride. And I just want you ladies to understand that you don't have to be anybody special with any special education or any special charismatic, whatever, personality or anything like that. Gosh, I have the craziest accent that half the people don't even understand. And if I could do it, you can too. So I'd love for you to kind of hear from me a little bit today as far as some of the mindset hacks that I implemented in order to get to where I have gotten in network marketing, because these tips can be applied to absolutely any company. It doesn't matter that I'm in a different company than you ladies. So the thing is that most of us have gone through the regular school system that teaches us that, okay, you have to get good grades because good grades are going to give you a good job. So you can work that good job for 40 years for somebody else, and then you can retire on a mediocre income. That's like the American dream that they paint for us, right? And I think oftentimes we can't even see past that because it's so deeply engraved in our brain cells. So when people start network marketing, they almost feel like they need somebody else to tell them what to do because they're so used to going to work, and they know that these are my daily tasks. If I do this and this and this, if I show up on time, I'm going to get paid a certain amount of dollars at the end of every month. So some of you may be relating to my situation. I kind of felt the same way because I was used to knowing that, okay, I had to go to the eye clinic and open the doors at 8 a.m. And then I had to do this and this and this with the patients. And then I had to do this with a doctor. And then I had to shut the place down at 5 p.m. And when I joined network marketing, all of a sudden there was nobody telling me what to do. So I had to come up with my own sort of like a work plan. I had to come up with, I almost had to start pretending like I had a boss. This is how I always teach my team as well. I say that, if you feel like you're not advancing in your business as fast as you'd like, pretend like there's somebody watching over you. Pretend like you have a boss. Pretend like there's that manager that's always, sneaking and kind of looking out of her office door just to see if you're doing what you're supposed to do. And I also wanted to ask the question that, if you were your own boss right now, based on what you have done in the last 30 days, how much would your work be worth? How big would your paycheck be based on the actions that you have taken? I go back and ask myself that question every time I feel a little bit maybe unmotivated, because that will happen to you no matter how high you go in your company. There's going to be days when you feel low, and there's going to be days when you're, on that up of the roller coaster. But ask yourself those questions that, how much is my actual income producing activity in the last 30 days worth? How much would I pay myself? And usually that question or that answer ends up kind of scaring you because it's probably a little bit less than what you wanted or a lot less. So it all comes down to sort of that mindset that, you no longer have a boss, at least, in your Color Street business. You need to become that boss that motivates you yourself and who kind of overlooks what you're doing. So, and also coming to the whole motivation thing, I find that the more consistent you are, the more motivated you will be. Who here has had a gym membership And then you have gone there for 2 weeks. And then you're like, oh, I'll just take the weekend off. And then you're like, oh, I'll go on Monday. Something comes up on Monday. I'll go on Wednesday. I'll go on Wednesday. And then the next gym day never comes. I'm the first to raise my hand, because when that consistency kind of a pattern breaks, it's just so much harder to get back into it. And it's the same in our businesses, because if, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're prospecting people, if you're following up, if you're doing all the Facebook lives and Instagram lives and showing up in your stories, and then you take a couple of days off, getting back to those activities is so much harder. I'm sure that a lot of you can relate that it almost comes to the point where you feel like, I don't know what to say to people. And you have talked to a lot of people in the past, but when you take that break, your brain kind of goes into a whole... I'm sorry, my watch is trying to talk to me. Sorry. So here's the thing. No matter how much or how little you work your business, make sure it's consistent. If you have a full-time job, maybe you have another part-time job on the side, and then you have your Color Street business, and maybe you only work it 2 days a week. So make sure these 2 days a week consistently. Consistency doesn't mean that you have to do it 7 days a week. So whatever your business work pattern or work hours are, just make sure that they're consistent so that it's easier for your subconscious to kind of keep going with things. Because it will get easier. The more you do something, the easier it's gonna get. And also remember, who here is an overthinker? Who thinks everything has to be perfect? Like, nothing's gonna get done unless it's absolutely perfect. Okay, I see a few hands. Okay, that used to be me as well. Like, everything, my graphics had to be perfect. And if the filters weren't right, I wouldn't post anything. Until somebody once told me that, one of my mentors, he said that done is better than perfect. And that's when I realized that, oh my gosh, yes, show up messy, show up like an absolute hot mess, because that's better than not showing up at all, right? And you being a bit of a hot mess is more relatable to people. I mean, I bet all of you are following these Instagram, whatever, influencers. Their feed looks so perfect. They use the same filter and everything is amazing. That's not real life. I'm the first to say that, it's pretty to look at, but I can't relate to any of them, because honestly, like, that's not my life. Like, I can't put myself into their shoes. So showing up messy, just remember, it's better than anything. And it may feel uncomfortable at first, because you may think that people are going to judge you. And you know what? People will judge you anyway. People will judge you when you're the top earner. People will judge you when you first start the business. People will judge you when you're thinking about joining a business. So they will judge you no matter what. So you might as well do what the heck it is that you want to do. So, and also comparing yourself. I think this is a trap that every single one of us has fallen into. I know that I have been in that boat where, I joined my company the very first day when we opened in Canada, and there's ladies that have gone past me income-wise and rank-wise. And oh my goodness, I got to the point at one point where I had to just unfollow them. I love them all dearly and they're amazing people and I'm friends with them. But at one point I had this funny feeling that it was almost that funny, I'm just going to say, jealousy that was holding me back, because I was too busy looking at what they were doing instead of furthering my own business. But by just getting rid of those distractions and unfollowing those people that I felt kind of funny about, it's helped a lot. So if you feel the same way about anyone, or if you feel like you're not going fast enough, just remember, everybody has their own journey and everybody has been a beginner. Like, none of us just woke up one day and we were where we are today. So don't compare your, chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 25. And also remember, a lot of people come into these businesses with the previous following, perhaps from another company. Maybe they have a brick and mortar business that has a huge following. Maybe their network is massive. So never compare yourself to somebody else, because it's a really great way for you to just feel like crap and get unmotivated. So your journey is your journey. Your only competition is yourself. And so make sure that the only person you compare yourself to is your own yesterday's self. If you are better today than what you were yesterday, you are winning. And that's huge. So keep that in mind as well. One of my friends, I actually have a podcast. I don't know. I'm just going to say it because it's a generic kind of a motivational podcast. It's called Your Ambitious Life. You guys can check it out at any time. I believe it's episode 10, where I was talking with a friend of mine from another company. They do Forex trading and all those kinds of things. But we were just talking in general about network marketing. And she said something that's really stuck with me. She said that, whenever she feels unmotivated, she asks herself, who loses when I don't win? If you think about it, network marketing companies have all been set up so that you are forced to help others win in order for you to win. You can't do this alone. So if you don't help others win, you don't win. So who loses? Who loses if you don't take action? Who loses if you don't reach out to people? Who loses if you don't offer the opportunity to somebody? This is something that really hit me. Who loses when I don't win? I was just speechless. You'll see it, or you'll hear it on that podcast if you happen to tune in. Like, I just went silent because I was like, holy moly, like, this is such a good one. Because we just never know who we are holding things back from by just prejudging and thinking that, oh, they already have enough money, or, they're already successful, or they wouldn't like this, or they wouldn't need this, or even worse, if you think that, oh, they don't have enough money to get started. So all these little things that can add up to your success, I think it's so important to kind of almost to have a checklist of things that the days when you don't feel like doing something, or when you feel unmotivated, go back and check in with yourself and see where your headspace is, because the sooner you pull out of yourself out of these funky moments, the better it is for you. The other thing too is, when you are new, I know that there is always that issue of confidence, right? You start and maybe you're really, really excited first, and then you'll message a bunch of people, and maybe you do a launch event. I don't know how you ladies launch your businesses, but if that's what you do, you reach out to a bunch of people, and then you get a bunch of no's. And then you are almost scared to reach out to more people because you think that there's going to be more no's coming. Just remember that you getting more confident all comes by just doing. Whatever you fear the most, you have to do the most until it becomes natural. So if you're somebody who feels scared to do a Facebook Live, you're just, sweating bullets trying to hit that whatever live button, and you just can't even do it, you just have to do it. Just go for it. If you feel like maybe the comments below are distracting and you can't get your thoughts straight while reading the comments, I always say that just grab a piece of a sticky note and put it over the bottom part of your screen where the comments are, or just swipe left so that the comments go away, so that you can focus on what you're doing and be vulnerable. It's always more relatable when you tell people that, hey, I'm new at this. I don't even know what it is that I'm doing here, but all I know is that this is going to take me places. Do you want to come along with me? Right? So because a lot of people who you are prospecting and who you think would be great in your business, they likely will feel the same way. They'll feel that they don't have enough confidence. They feel that they don't have enough connections. They feel like, I don't know, that they're not pretty enough, or whatever it may be. Everybody has these limiting beliefs. So you can show people that they don't need to be all that in a bag of chips in order to do what you're doing. So I hope that that's helpful. The one thing I want to kind of leave you with is, earlier I was talking about the employee versus employer mindset, or employee versus entrepreneur mindset. I hope that all of you are setting monthly goals. And, as a business owner, like at my optometry practice, we had a monthly budget. We knew that we had to make an X amount of dollars in order to cover the rent, in order to cover all the equipment, blah, 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 whatever, the dilating drops for the eyes, contact lens supply, whatever it was, we had a budget. In network marketing, that budget of a standard or regular business owner should be the same thing for you. That should be your month-end volume, or however you ladies are running your businesses. So the way I run my network marketing business, I always have a number, a goal in mind for the end of the month. And I treat that as my budget. I literally break it down by the amount of days in the month so that I know that, okay, if I need to make an X amount by the last day of the month, then this is how much volume needs to happen every single day. And then work my plan accordingly, plan out the time to do the follow-ups, to add new contacts and make new connections, make new friends, because this business is all about relationships. So you need to be that professional friend maker, and to actually prospect and follow up and close those deals. So treat it as if you are going to work every day, or if it's 3 days a week for you working your business, but treat it as a business. Have a plan going in, because I mean, how easy is it to get into the scroll hole on your phone? It's unbelievable. I still do that some days, and it's scary when I find myself 3 hours later on TikTok. Like, it's just not good, right? So, but having that action plan in mind, so that, you know, once you're done with whatever you need to do and whatever your plan for the day is, whether it is to, you know, add 5 people to your list, make 5 new connections, prospect 5, follow up 5, and you know, whatever else it may be. So make sure that those things are done before you get into that scroll hole. So anyway, I hope that this was helpful. We can even open it up for questions if anybody has anything at all, but I hope that this was somewhat helpful for you.
Go ahead, everybody at once.
Oh, Carol, you're loud.
Does anybody have any questions?
I do. How do you section do you pick a day that you're going to, like, I try to do team stuff on Tuesdays. Monday is my personal business. Team stuff on Tuesdays. Wednesday, catch up on whatever I didn't finish Monday. Thursday, catch up with whatever I didn't finish on Tuesday. Do you break your list down to where they're more doable, or do your list just kind of take over your life like mine have?
Pretty much has taken over my life. I'll be totally honest about it. But I try, like, for me, myself, I try to prospect and follow up 7 days a week. And I just pick a number. It's usually 5, 5, and 5. And I have my little checklist so that I go through those things. And yes, sometimes life gets on the way, and I try to catch up the next day, then, you know, double it up so that at least by the end of the week, my actual action goals, so to say, they line up. But absolutely, as you're running a team, and especially when you have a larger team, a lot of things can happen, right? You get the bazillion messages that you wake up to every morning, then you have to deal with them, then put out fires, somebody's order hasn't arrived, something has gone missing, like all these things can happen, right? But in general, like, my team days are generally Mondays and Sundays. That's for like major calls and things like that. And the rest of the week, it's just, you know, really focusing on my own business as much as I can, because, you know, like they say, that 80-20 rule, right? 80% of the time should be spent on your own personal business, and then 20% on your team.
Awesome. You have to unmute yourself if you have a question, guys.
Yeah.
Cassie, I know you have a question. Spit it out.
I am lucky that I get to brainstorm with Pille frequently, and I'll bounce things off of her, and I listen to a lot of things that she does, so I get to hear her all the time. So.
I was gonna say, your podcast went down my list. I'll be doing my podcast, the next one on there. I'm like, oh yeah, another podcast. So
Awesome.
how much self development and stuff like that do you work on for yourself? Like, I try to do at least 15 minutes a day. No, at least, usually about an hour a day. How do you weigh that in your business?
Generally for myself, it's minimum 30 minutes a day. Now with the new Clubhouse platform, I don't know if anybody's on there. It's amazing. So I use that instead of a radio. There's always something network marketing related going on. Okay. So I have that one playing, and I'm committed to like a mastermind with Eric Worre for this entire year. So I have a lot of work to do with that as well. But it generally breaks down to about 30 minutes to an hour, like you said, per day. And I feel like that's like the bare minimum for anybody. Like just instead of having that radio blaring in your car, turn on a podcast, or I don't know, something from YouTube, Tony Robbins, anything, Eric Worre. There's so many amazing mentors out there that you can listen to. Turn off the news. I don't even own a TV. There's no TV screen in this house. It's because it's a waste of time for me. But yeah, fit that time in. And if you find that sitting down and reading a physical book is not your jam, get yourself Audible. There's no excuses.
Yeah, that's my favorite. A lot of us on this team show dogs, so we travel, so we're driving all the time, or we're grooming. So I'm just headphones in every day. Do you use trackers? Do you like trackers to kind of like check things off the box and stuff like that too?
I love it. I love it. Not the electronic. I cannot do, I mean, I am very tech savvy. I consider myself tech savvy, but I love an old school notebook and a calendar.
Okay.
I need that visual and that physical pen in the hand, checking it off.
Yeah, I found that definitely makes a difference for sure. So I definitely the checking off the box of finishing lists and checking it off. I tried the electronic, it didn't work for me. It'll work different for everybody for sure. Some people like that in their calendar, and just Eric likes to move his calendar stuff back and forth. And I'm like, I don't understand how you just did that. So some people work with it better. So definitely find what works for you for sure. But okay, that's good to know. And I'm excited about your podcast.
Old school pen and paper and a bunch of highlights.
Yes.
Highlighters.
Sorry. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Anybody else think of a question? I love this. This was very motivating. I love it. I love it.
I love you, Pille. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I love you right back. This was such an honor. You ladies, your success is in your hands. Nobody can do it for you. So you go get it, because otherwise somebody else will, and then you'll feel bad about it. Get what's yours.
This was a great session, though. You had some wonderful ideas for us.
Awesome.
Oh, I'm glad you found it helpful.
It was awesome. Thank you.
You are so welcome, Anna.
When is your podcast?
Sorry, when is the podcast?
Where?
Or where? It's on all the platforms. It's on Apple, it's on Anchor, it's on Spotify. It's called Your Ambitious Life. So
Thank you.
And if any of you ever are like courageous enough, just message me and let's interview on a podcast. Let's get your name out there.
Nice. I like that. Well, we do have a Canadian in here. We don't do, we can't sell in Canada yet, but she has dual citizenship. So we do have I know she's in here somewhere.
Where is she from?
Babette, where are you? I think Winnipeg, right? I think she's in Winnipeg. She's probably like, do not call my name out right now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I'm in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
But I'm not a dual citizen. I just have two homes. I have a home in the States and a home in Canada. So I'm waiting for Color Street to come to Canada. So I'm kind of sitting on the sidelines, trying to figure out how this all works. So when it comes to Canada, I can just jump in there.
Ready. I love it.
Janice,
Cool. Well,
I'm from Montreal.
Oh, yes. Carol's from Montreal. Very good.
Wow.
Awesome. We do have Canadians in here. Love it. All right.
Well, Pille, we're going to be giving away your book later tonight too. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We're so excited to share that with everybody as well.
Absolutely. Well, whoever gets it, enjoy. Let me know what you think.
Definitely.
Yes.
I'll probably be messaging you too. Be like, okay, give me more advice too. Yeah.
No problem.
Podcast in trade.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. You are so welcome. I'm going to hop off, but thanks, ladies, for putting
Thank
up
you,
with me.
Pille.
Hopefully we'll
Thank
see
you
again.
so much.
Thank you, Pille.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Oh my
I
God.
What would you
turned
guys
off too many
think?
lights. It looked like I'm Halloween there.
So what did you guys think? Did you, I have known Pille for 2 years. She's amazing. You guys are going to love her podcast. You're going to love the book. Did you guys have any other questions or comments about it, or anything that brought things up that you guys want to chat about before we hop off? Because that's what we had planned for you tonight was Pille. So
I keep seeing in the chat, everyone's saying it's fantastic. Love it.
yeah.
Need a plan. Get organized. Love it.
Hey,
Awesome.
ladies. Hey, ladies.
Yes.
Or like the engagement, not engagement, like her self-awareness. Did she like she gave some names?
Yeah, Tony Robbins, I know, is kind of the one everybody knows of. Cassie, do you know
I'm
that?
actually I am doing a mastermind right now with Pille. It's it's through Eric Worre. And it's how to grow your business, grow by 30, grow 20 in 30 days. So it's like it's a huge recruiting program. And so Eric Worre is big about that. And that's who we're working with right now. So he's one to check into.
How do you spell his last name?
WORRE.
W-O-R-R.
Can you put that stuff up on Facebook or up on the Dream Team page so we can get that? I'm driving,
Absolutely.
so it's kind of hard to do.
I'm a huge
Join
fan.
us.
Yeah, I'm in the Josh Coates mastermind, push mastermind group, and I'm definitely getting a rhythm now, and it's really just rinse and repeat day and night. 10 invites, 5 party messages, 5 joins every day, just every day, personal. Like you can do the invites and just go down the list, but you don't want to, like, even if you're friending people, you don't want to jump on them that minute. You want to let them come in, see how it is, and then personally send them a message like, this is what I'm doing. Do you have any interest? Do you want a sample? I'm happy to send it to you. Just, so it's not like, okay, I invited them and now you're in my group and that'll speak for itself. It's reaching out to people, making those connections. It's not going to happen that instant. And I think that's where people get a little confused. They think, okay, well, I invited those people, they're in my group or they're not in my group. Now what? You got to let the process work. So definitely just know those invites are going to pay off down the road, not that instant. So I always say, whatever you do today pays off in 3 weeks or 2 weeks. So it's just those kind of reaching out and touching people, letting them know you're not just a number. Because that's my biggest thing is you never want people to feel like just another number in your group. You want them to feel like you're talking to them, you're here for them. I mean, I just have one of my customers, talking to me about her sister having dementia and all that. And it's like, I can totally feel with that because I just lost a great mentor of mine to that. So it's making those connections and understanding that people just need connection right now, especially after last year. So making those real connections with people, that's when people want to join you and want to play around with these. And these bring people joy. We have an awesome product that is consumable. People need more and want to play with them. So make it fun, enjoyable, make it something they want to be a part of. And I think that is the big, but you have to, I'm not just sitting here hoping, I'm always doing something. So if you think you join up and just think, okay, I'm going to hope and pray, it's not going to work. You do have to reach out and send those little messages and let people know that you are a human and not just that weird person on Facebook all the time, which scheduling makes it look like you're there all the time when you're not. So that's helpful.
But the main thing is too, like I tell everybody that I work with, and I've told, a lot of people that I directly work with, and I've got it hanging right on my desk, is the day that you plant the seed isn't the day that you eat the fruit. So you always have to remember that. So you're planting seeds every time you're talking to somebody, like Jana said, and every time you're talking about your product or things, you're planting all of these seeds, and you're planting the seeds if they want to join your team too. Like if you are giving them time, like Jana said, they're like, oh, she's going to invest in me and take the time with me when I'm on her team, and all those different things, so when you plant the seed is not the day that you eat the fruit. So my big quote, I always have to say it over and over again to myself, and it's hanging on my desk.
I like that. When Janice pushed the 5 a day, and I actually got the idea. I go through the alphabet, and I've started with A. One day, the first day I did A's, and then I did B's for my invites, and it just
Okay.
now I've got that on my calendar. Which what alphabet day am I on today? And that gets me my 10 invites every day, and that at least is that first step, and it's got that motivation.
Awesome.
And it's a way to
Very
go
good.
through it and do it for the invites.
That's a good way to remember what day. Where did it start?
It is. It is.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. All right, I put a couple of those names in the chat.
When you guys are doing interactive posts on Facebook and things like that, how do you get your group to interact? Because I've been doing that, and I've even done if you add a friend, I'll add, you get an entry. If you place an order, then you get 2 entries. If your friend and you place
If you make
orders,
it
then
too complicated, it gets confusing and they kind of back away. So
Okay.
I have found that if I just surprise people, and like in the beginning, if you just have a couple people and you just do a surprise drawing on everyone that commented in a random, it can be for twosies, it can be for a nail file, and just be like, oh my gosh, thank you for engaging. These people all engaged on this post. I'm gonna do random drawings for engagement posts. So if you want to win some free stuff, jump on the post. And just doing little giveaways, but not really giving away a whole lot in the beginning is great. And they don't know what post is gonna get them in a drawing, so they tend to do more. So if you have friends, I know Marty, you just starting out. So if you've got a couple of friends, be like, hey, just go comment on my thing. You don't have to do anything, just comment for me. It'll help people start seeing it. So you have to know when you post a bunch, people aren't seeing it yet. When your group is just starting, they don't see it yet. So just know that you might post 3 times a day. Someone may only see 1. So that's where, but if you have a friend or a family member that will just go in there and post and just comment, that will make it be seen by other people. That helps.
Yeah, no, it does, because then I know that
And yes or no answers too.
What was that? Or a couple of-
Yes or no answers to start
Yeah.
with. The more complicated the question, people are hesitant with. So if you do yes or no or A and B or things like that, people are more apt to just give their opinion quickly that way.
Yeah. Because I know my posts are being seen, because obviously you can see at the bottom like how many people have seen it, but like on the interactive ones, it'll like I'll be like this or that, and like
count those
one
things. They count being seen as people just scrolling by. So
okay.
scrolling, it doesn't mean they actually read it. So I'm learning some of this social media stuff now because I'm just like, I want to understand it a bit more. So if they just barely scroll it, or their phone is open and they hit groups instead of like the regular, it's counting that as being seen. So they're not necessarily reading it. It's just more of a, how well to scroll. So that's more the kind of thing that will help out for sure. Anybody else? Marty, you're doing great. So keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, thanks.
Awesome.
We're going to try to do speakers more frequently. If you guys have any feedback too, let Janice or I know if things are you're really wanting to focus on in the coming months ahead, so we can get some people on here for you guys to keep you motivated in these months. I thought Pille was a great one for us to get the mindset, because she's always such an amazing mindset person. So I thought that was a good one for us this month. And Janice has got some other things she's looking into too for us. So if you guys have ideas, let us know also.
I love it. I love hearing from different people. So it's cool. Awesome.
Yeah, organization class.
What?
I'm so not organized at all.
Gotta find out what works, whether it's written paper, I was trying to do 3 notebooks. I couldn't do 3 notebooks. 3 notebooks was too much. So I now have my dog one and my color street one, because that's all, like having more was just confusing. And I just make a list every day of what I want to do in that notebook and what mail outs I do, or in that everything is in one place. And I have found that to be a lot easier than trying to have a notebook for a party and having a notebook for this. I mean, it's just, that's where it gets really, you got to know what works for you and play around with it, because you're not going to know until you get playing around with it. But having, some people need like a separate party notebook and a separate, team and a separate, your personal business. I found that to be way too much for me. So it definitely just depends on what is going to work for you, for sure. So I think that's, and then just making a habit of it, just make it a habit.
For me, because I'm one of the squirrel, get distracted. Really.
Yeah. And that's where you're someone that might need a power hour or power 15, where you just sit down and do something for 15 minutes, set a timer. As soon as that 15 minutes is up, be done. And go to the next thing and do that for 15 minutes, set a timer, be done. Those little things have really helped, because I'm one of those, if someone messages me in the middle of doing something, I feel like I need to answer it, and then I skip out on what I'm doing. So definitely, yeah, squirrel moments happen every day. Or a squirrel moment or a dog moment, and someone needs to go out, and then there we go. So
I have big dog moments. I have Great Danes.
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely all understand the dog distractions. It happens very fast and very easily.
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. I think this was very good, guys. She was exciting. I'm going to go listen to her podcast immediately.
Yeah.
Could we do some, what about some team building? Maybe a speaker about building a team and that?
We definitely have that in the works. Yeah. Yeah, definitely things like that. We're trying to figure out what you guys want. So when we throw up those polls, be sure to answer them, because that helps us a lot to figure out what we want to do. So we'll be putting up a poll for next month very soon, as soon as we get some ideas of who we can get. But yeah, team building, organization, parties, things that work better in parties, all that kind of stuff. We're definitely working on getting people lined up and getting other people talking than us. So you're not too bored.
The other thing is too, if you are have somebody that's a team leader above you, we'll post things in our team leader group for our team too. So if you guys think of something and you talk to, your team leader or director, they're going to be able to give us that information back too. If you, are not friends with us on Facebook because we haven't found each other on Facebook yet or whatever. So make sure you're, telling Kristen or Lacey or Rachel or whoever your upline is, that way too, if some feedback that you guys are having also, because that's, like Jana said, is going to help us get our speakers lined up for you guys and where you're focusing at right now. If we're hearing that feedback from multiple people that are all needing the same thing at the same time too, because there's 300 of us now, which is amazing for our little team. And I will be with Color Street a year next week. So you guys were all brand new together. And so we've got 300 of us. So we're trying to make sure that we're all growing together and we're all helping everybody at different levels of your business also. So we want to make sure you guys are all getting what you need from us and your uplines and all that good stuff too. So.
And we want feedback if you're people that those emails, and I've already gotten some great feedback. If you're some of the people that are getting the emails, whether you wanted a reboot or whatever, just something to retouch up on everything, those emails are definitely, I think it's been a good thing, the new process we have of bringing people in. So if you need that or whatever, let us know, because we worked really hard on those. So we're happy to know that they're working and you guys are liking them.
So hard on those.
Very hard. But no, I think I'm excited. I can't wait to listen to her podcast though. I'm for sure doing that tomorrow. So I think that was great. Is that all we have for tonight? Or are we going to do drawing and then we'll post who's getting the free book?
If you've got a wheel ready. I did not put a wheel together while we were talking. I was not that
I don't have
savvy.
I was gonna say, I wanted to listen, so I didn't do a wheel. So we'll do a wheel after this and see who's gonna win a book or two. And thanks for joining in tonight, guys. This was a good turnout. So I'm glad you guys got to get on here.
I'm glad you guys liked it. Thank you. I'm glad everybody, made it worthwhile for her too, instead of having 5 of us. So thank you.
Thank you guys for organizing it.
Thank you.
Yeah, she was awesome.
welcome.
Thank you.
Good.
You're welcome.
I love your hair, Anna. It's so pretty.
Thank you.
Like,
Thanks, ladies.
bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye, guys.
you, guys.
Bye.